Welcome, NOSSCAR race fans. It is Motormaster Monday here on NASCAR Heat 3. We have the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway coming to you live on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. We're glad to have you with us. The green flag has been shown to these drivers. And forgive me if my voice is not the greatest. I've been under the weather for what feels like an eternity now, but going on close to a week. Gonna do what I can here for you. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Nick Don Francesco in the 98 trying to hold off your pole sitter. Info in the 88 machine. Ford Mustang versus Chevy Camaro, and they've got Cole Custer looking car, and that is Dakota Bro in the 00. Having a solid season, locked into the playoffs. Right there in third, Stephen Corley in the 5, running in fourth. Keith Ayers in the 16, rounding out the top 5. We're working stage 1. They clear one of the lap cars there, and they're coming up on another one, and coming up on one they don't often need to lap, and that's BJ Thomas in the 99. Info took the lead for a moment. Dakota Bro thought about 3 wide in the 00. Thought better of it, and now Stephen Corley thinking 3 wide. 2 by 2 now. First and second side by side. Third and fourth side by side. Oh, and Info messed up that corner. Dakota Bro had nowhere to go. He went down into the side of Keith Ayers in the 16. Then shot back up into the outside wall, and that's the result. He's got a whole lot of front-end damage. And now he's got Joshua Colm Diaz in the 90 machine, running in 6th, right behind him. And the leaders did put BJ Thomas 1 lap down, and this is what the battle for the lead looks like now in the Falcon 200. Stephen Corley looking to the inside, looking for the lead. Also looking for his first career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win. Oh, and nearly contact made between Don Francesco and Corley, but I think that there was no contact. Corley overdrove to try to avoid the contact, but in turn gave up the race lead back to Don Francesco. The top 4 are under a blanket. Keith Ayers about to be up there with these 3. Now Info looking low for the second position, trying to rebound after getting stuck in traffic there. He is your pole sitter. If it's a glitch or if it's damage, but as you can see, from time to time his right front tire is coming through that car. I believe it's actually just a glitch. That's how low the air pressures are. Oh, and he got loose again. That's the second time he's done that. He's going to lose second to Stephen Corley and third to Keith Ayers. Checking in on Dakota Bro, still front-end damage to that machine. He's running in 5th. He's lost the draft here with the front 4. He still has Josh Colm Diaz just behind him. And the blue machine behind them, as of right now, is the first car 1 lap down. They're all chasing Nick Don Francesco. Had a solid season. He's got 3 wins, and he's currently seated 6th in the point standings. 18 playoff points. Looking good for when the playoffs begin. Pardon me. Top 3 all nose to tail now. Stephen Corley comes into this race 7th in the point standings in that number 5 car. No wins. 6 playoff points. He would love to improve the playoff point total and the win total here today at Iowa Speedway. Has a great run going so far. company, though. Keith Ayers looking to the inside, and that's for P2. Keith comes into this event second in the point standings. Finally got the elusive Motormaster Series win just a couple of weeks ago. So he's got one of those, and he's got 12 playoff points in the bank. Wasn't able to complete the pass on Corley at this time. Now Info in the 88 beginning to come back towards the front here. See if he can keep it pointed in the right direction. He is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. So it's Don Francesco, Corley, Ayers, Info, and Bro, your top 5. With Cole Diaz lingering just barely outside the top 5 in the 6th position. There is the points leader coming into tonight's event, 2 wins, 17 playoff points. The regular season champion does receive more playoff points on top of it. Definitely something to compete for the first I'd say 20 races. This is a battle for position with Dave Marks Jr. in the 1. It's Kenny Adair in the blue, black, and silver machine, a little bit in front of these 3. There's the 4 of Trey Hollywood. Running in the 10th position, but he's got no drafting partner right now. Curtis Fields in the 35, running in the 12th position, but he's in a bit of trouble. He's got the leaders coming up behind him. Keep in mind the leaders only have 4 laps to go till the end of stage 1. Oh, and Shadow in the 2 made contact with the outside wall. I think he was actually just trying to stay out of the way. Still trying to stay out of the way. He is the first car 1 lap down at this time. Keith Ayers trying to make the move around him on the outside to stick with the front 2. Don Francesco has a comfortable lead over Stephen Corley. Corley's not close enough to make a move in that black and white number 5 Chevy Camaro. There you see him in second. They're chasing this man. And it's hard to make a run on somebody this late in the run, this fuel run, because it's more of a tire run, really. Everybody's right side tires are definitely way more worn and worse for wears than they were at the beginning of this event. These guys trying to hold on for dear life. They can't make the moves and make the passes that they were able to at the beginning when the green flag fell. Laps to go in stage 1. Remember, it's the top 5 that receive the stage points. Nick Don Francesco definitely in the running for that. He's leading the way. The stage winner also gets a playoff point. So it's Don Francesco, Corley, Keith Ayers, Info, and Dakota Bro. Those are your top 5 right now. Joshua Cole Diaz has lost the back bumper of Dakota Bro. No longer competing and contending for the top 5 spot. Problems for Angelo in 3. He is on pit road and apparently done for the day. Mechanical issues we're hearing. That's a tough break. Stage 1 is in the history books. Give it up for Dakota Bro. He does it again. rocking and rolling here in the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway. Stephen Corley in second, Keith Ayers in third, Info in fourth, Dakota Bro rounding out the top five. They will receive the stage points, and now all these drivers get a chance to make a pit stop, make some adjustments, and repair any damage that they may have suffered here in stage one. It's always a good opportunity to make a lengthy pit stop under caution if you need one. Definitely Dakota Bro in the 00. He's going to lose some track position. More than likely you're going to see him repair the front end damage that he suffered to a 00 Ford Mustang. Actually, he didn't do too bad. He only lost one position, and that was to Colm Diaz in the 90. So it's Don Francesco and Corley leading them to the line for the restart. We're green for stage two. When Info took a really high line there, it opened the door for 3 wide, and that's never a good move on a restart. Colm Diaz made the smart move and hit the brakes and let Dakota Bro in front of him. Now Info to the bottom. 8800. Oh, maybe not. Slipped up a little bit. Wasn't able to. Oh, and Dakota checked up in the middle of the corner. Info wasn't ready for it. Oh, and that really checked up Colm Diaz in the 90 as well. So those three just lost a whole bunch of positions, and Keith Ayers is around. Info and Keith Ayers and a couple of others were all involved, and they were the leaders. Now this is the battle for the lead, and they were thinking about 4 wide. Thinking about it. The 45, he holds on to it. Up front, it's Dakota Bro and Info battling for the lead side by side. The points leader, Jade Burr, where did he come from? He's up in the 3rd spot, and he's bringing Colm Diaz back to the front with him. Master Monday keeps getting bigger and better every week. We got a 7-car battle for the lead at Iowa Speedway, and just a couple of laps ago they were 4 wide for the top spot. Settling down just a little bit right now. Dakota keeping Info at bay behind him. There's a side-by-side battle for the 3rd position. Joshua Colm Diaz slides up into Jade Burr just a little bit. 28 goes back to the 4th position, and the 90 goes up to 3rd. There is Jade Burr in the 28 machine. Comes in as the points leader, having a solid season. 2 wins. The stage 1 winner is right behind him. That's Nick Don Francesco in the green and white and red, number 98 Ford Mustang. Running in 5th. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The highest running driver right now in the running order without a win in 2019. And contact was made there between Burr and Colm Diaz. The highest running driver without a win is the 90 machine that Jade Burr just passed. Put back to 5th, and now still side by side, Jade Burr and Don Francesco. Nick Don Francesco cleared him, but Jade Burr tried to use the momentum to pull off the crossover move. He couldn't quite do it, but the 98 to 3rd. Patrick Hazlitt in the 20 having a good run, running in the 6th position. Toyota Camry. Runs part-time here in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, more known for his NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series success. Definitely see him back in action May 3rd. Larson in the 19 having a good run. He's got Curtis Fields in the 35 looking at the inside. These two are on the lead lap and battling inside the top 10. There's a look at Dave Marks Jr. He's running in the 7th position trying to gain some ground on Patrick Hazlitt in the 20. He is the next driver he would be battling for position with. Shadow in the 2 runs in 8th. Not too far behind him. Get you back up front, see what's going on. Dakota Bro leading the way. That's what's going on. Info in 2nd in the 88, and here's the stage 1 winner, Nick Don Francesco, running in 3rd, and that was a big connection issue on the part of Dakota. Holds on to it and had a clean 3 and 4 there, the leader did. Yeah, don't ever count out Nick Don Francesco. This green and white and red Ford Mustang, he's proved it time and time again. He is a major threat for the 2019 NOSSCAR Motormaster Series Championship. And we're guaranteed a first-time NOSSCAR Motormaster Series winner at Iowa Speedway. Nathan Scott drove the 36 machine to victory lane earlier this season here at Iowa Speedway, and he is not participating in this one, part-time Motormaster Series driver. So we're guaranteed a first-time winner. There's Keith Ayers in the 16. He ran inside the top 5 up there, battling for the race lead in stage 1, but got involved in an on-track incident up there with the leaders, and now a couple of them since then have lost a ton of track position, trying to maintain what they have until the end of stage 2, until they can repair the damage that they suffer. Keith Ayers finished 2nd in the race earlier this season here at Iowa Speedway. Came into the race with high hopes and a lot of fans looking at him to be the one to win today's event at Iowa. He's got a lot to overcome now. A little over halfway through stage 2. Excuse me, check that. Approaching the end of stage 2. 6 laps to go for the race leaders. It's going to get interesting. Dakota's got some lap traffic in front of him. That includes Stephen Corley, and that includes Kenny Adair, and they were 3 wide. They're still 3 wide. Oh, and this is big, too, because if they don't catch B.J. Thomas, then it's Kenny Adair in the 36 and Stephen Corley in the 5 battling for the free pass position. First car 1 lap down gets their lap back. They might catch B.J. Thomas, and either way, a nice move there by Corley to get back to the inside of Kenny Adair. You're looking at the battle for the free pass position at the end of stage 2. Kenny Adair gets a big run, drives in deep. Oh, but he slams into the side of Corley. That wasn't good. Try this again going into turn 3. Corley makes the pass. Jay Burr going with him up on the outside, but Kenny's not giving up, down on the bottom. Slid up into him again. Kenny just hit the apron and slid up into him again. He's still sliding up into him. Corley coming back, and into the wall goes the 36, and the 5 got held up. The 90 of Colm Diaz, he's on the lead lap, and oh, and Kenny just drove in deep and bulldozed his way past Stephen Corley. I don't want to leave that, but we got to see. Yeah, B.J. Thomas has not been a lap down, and it's Kenny Adair beating Stephen Corley to the line, but definitely NOSSCAR officials are looking at that one. Well, your stage 2 winner, Dakota Bro in the 00. Nick Don Francesco in 2nd in the 98. Info in the 88 in 3rd. Alright, we're going to have to check scoring, but I believe it was Jay Burr in 4th. And Joshua Colm Diaz in 5th. And now we don't see Nick Don Francesco. Did he... I mean, we're getting a report that Don Francesco has actually lost connection. There he is, and he is no longer on the racetrack. I can't believe it, really. And the green flag is in the air for the final stage of the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway. And they're rocking and rolling once again. Oh, and around goes Peyton Larson deeper in the field. Everybody had to scatter. A couple of cars got involved. B.J. Thomas stopped on the back straightaway there, and he's going to continue on. There he is. Oh, and around goes the 00, and I didn't see what happened, but he goes from the lead to the back. Now we are side by side up front for the race lead. Info in the 88, Jade Burr in the 28. Both drivers have a lot of wins this season. Both drivers have had a good season. It's crunch time. We're in the final stage. Patrick Hazlitt is in the 3rd position, Dustin Franklin in 4th, and Curtis Fields in 5th. There he was. He lost the 5th position to Keith Ayers. Keith Ayers is now running in 5th. And a lot happens in a short amount of time in the NOSSCAR Motor Master Series. There's Curtis Fields, deeper in the field there. There he is in the 35. He was just inside the top 5, and I didn't see what happened to him either. And he's near the back. Might be coming to pit road this time. Now you're looking at the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Patrick Hazlitt, Dustin Franklin, Keith Ayers. The 20, the 01, and the 16. 3 different manufacturers, 3 different race teams, 1 goal in mind. That's to catch the front 2 and win this thing. They're 3 wide going into turn 1. Let's see how this goes. Looked like Hazlitt in the 20 checked up a little bit. Didn't like the way that was looking. See Hazlitt in the 20 car. He's here for the wins. He's only a part-time driver in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. It's win or bust for the number 20 team. Keith got clear of these 2. He made short work and walked away. Keith Ayers in the 16, establishing himself as the driver in 3rd with a good chance to win this race if he can close down a 3-second gap to your race leader Info in the number 88 machine. Battle for 6th here. Shadow in the 2. Joshua Cole Diaz in the 90. Both drivers in the top 10 having a good day. There is your points leader, Jade Bird. He has lost some ground now to your race leader, Info. Starting to put some distance in between himself and the rest of the competition. A lot of distance in between the drivers running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right now. There you see them coming into your frame. It's Info, Jade Bird, Keith Ayers, your top 3. Dustin Franklin runs in 4th. Things were looking good for Dakota Bro. Ran inside the top 5, had a competitive car all race long, and then had a problem near the beginning of the final stage here. It's really thrown a wrench into his day, and now he is outside of the top 10. On the lead lap still, but outside the top 10, and as you can see, he has a lot of front-end damage once again to that Ford Mustang. He's trying to salvage every point that he can get at this point. I like when it does this because we can see exactly where your favorite driver is running, and I'll let you know when the race leader is coming. There he is, the yellow and white Camaro. Here's 2nd, Jade Burr, Keith Ayers right there in 3rd, the red and white Ford Mustang that you guys saw. There's Dustin Franklin in 4th, Patrick Hazlitt in 5th. The drivers running basically 5th through 10th. Just went by, now 5th through 13th. There's Curtis Fields in the 35. BJ Thomas in the 99, Peyton Larson in the 19, and they were with your race leader, Info in the yellow and white. Chevy Camaro, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Peyton Larson the 19, 14th, BJ Thomas 15th, and your guess is as good as mine from there on out, folks. We're all chasing this man, Info in the number 88 Chevy Camaro, putting on a racing clinic here in the Falcon 200 here on Motormaster Monday. Had a heck of a season in 2018 for the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series, which the 2019 season begins May 3rd. And yes, the 2018 season for the Platinum Cup for Info was phenomenal. Made it to the Final Four, 7 wins on the season. He was definitely a major threat to win the championship. Finishing 4th in the final standings and hungry for more in 2019. During the off-season, he's been showing his talents by racing full-time in the NOSSCAR Truck Series and NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, picking up multiple wins in both. Oh, and Dakota Bro gets involved in an incident there with the number 4. They both get it going again, but the 4 machine is actually going to go 1 lap down. Check to see who the 4 car is. The 4 car would be Trey Hollywood. He now goes 1 lap down. Dakota Bro, he's that much closer now to going 1 lap down because of that on-track incident. There is your race leader, right behind Dakota. This race has gone from bad to worse with the 00. Keith Ayers in the 16 running in 2nd. It's where he finished in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series race at Iowa Speedway earlier this year. He would like to better that just by 1 if he could. He's within striking distance. We think he's got the car to do it. Oh, not if he does that. He overdrove the exit of turn 2, got back to the throttle too soon, perhaps. Made contact with the outside wall. Keep in mind, he's got to drive pretty quick, though, as well, and he's got to drive aggressive, because if he doesn't, he's not going to run down your race leader. And he risks having Jade Burr, the points leader who runs in 3rd, catch him. Then once he's got his draft, he might actually battle with them throughout the rest of the final stage. We think that these drivers need to make 1 pit stop here before the end. Gets into the outside wall up there, exiting turn 4. He's trying to work his way through all of this lap traffic. We're riding on with Curtis Fields in the 35. He's the car right behind Info. Right now he's the first car 1 lap down. The 19 just in front of your race leader, Peyton Larson, is about to go 2 laps down. And Dakota Bro in the 00 just cut it hard left. He's going down pit road for service. Evidently, I was right. These drivers do need to make 1 pit stop. Jade Burr is on pit road. Stephen Corley in the 5 car rolling down pit road and into his pit stall as well. try to stay with your race leaders here if we can. There is Info. Info letting a whole bunch of lap cars go by, and now Keith Ayers is there, folks. The gap has shrunk down to just a, let's say, about 8 or 9 car lengths when they're on the straightaway now, heading into turn 3. Still has a couple of lapped cars to negotiate, and I can't believe how high in the corners that your race leader Info is running. He might be conserving fuel. We're really not 100% on that. Well, other than Keith Ayers, he's got a 10-second gap on the drivers running 3rd, 4th on back. So the front two, if they play ball and race nice, they could save some fuel together if they really wanted to manage the gap. But I really don't know how far they can stretch it. 31 laps to go in the Falcon 200, and here come the leaders to pit road. Info and Keith Ayers and Peyton Larson in the 19 car missed pit road. You guys saw that there. That was some. Yep, so 31 laps to go. The leaders are on pit road. We know that they can make it from here. The drivers that stopped maybe about anywhere from 4 laps or more ago, they might be a little bit close, but they're definitely going to have an advantage when it comes to track position. They were able to pit and have fresh tires sooner. Get those old ones off. Coming out of pit road, Info still has the position over Keith Ayers. We think that that's going to be the battle for the lead. Once the pit stops cycle through, a couple of cars stayed on the track for an extensive period of time. We believe that Dave Marks Jr. in the 1 car was one of them. Kenny Adair is still on the racetrack, and getting word that Jade Burr in the 28, the points leader, using some sort of pit strategy there. You see him, he's in front of Info, and that's a battle for position. Getting a report that Jade Burr did not take 4 tires on his pit stop, or thinking that he went with 2 only on the right side. Got him some track position, but he's got to hold on for 27 more laps. Pit stops finishing up and cycling through. Trey Hollywood and Kenny Adair, Dave Marks Jr., those drivers staying out an extra couple of laps. BJ Thomas as well. There he is. He's your race leader. We've seen him gamble like this before, and we've seen him win and lose when it comes to his pit calls and his pit gambles. But right now he's looking good. He's just got to run his line, hit his marks, and be smooth. Don't look in his mirror at all, and focus on finding speed. Jade Burr out front in the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway. Motormaster Monday, NASCAR Heat 3 on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. It's about a 1.5-second advantage that he has over Info. It's only shrunk down 0.3 of a second ever since Info left his pit stall. Patrick Hazlitt in the 20 car in 4th. Shadow in the 2, running in 5th. Just a quick update for you for the rest of the top 5. There's Hazlitt running in fourth. And the white Chevy Camaro coming into your frame behind him there. That's the distance that he has over Shadow in fifth. Outside, man, Kenny Adair made life difficult there for Jade. Still is taking the preferred groove away, rather, from your race leader, and that's allowing Info in the 88 to run him down. Shadow in fifth. Joshua Colm-Diaz in the 90 just took the 6th position away from Dustin Franklin in the 01. So that's puts Dustin back to the 7th position at this time. It's BJ Thomas up into the outside wall through turns 1 and 2. Didn't see how we got up there, but we got a change for the race lead. Info gets around Jade Burr, the 4 fresh tires prevailing here at Iowa Speedway. Anything can happen, but with those 4 fresh tires, we're thinking that eventually he's going to start putting some distance in between himself and Jade Burr. But if Jade Burr can put a few clean laps together and stay in the draft with Info, he might be able to make a move back on the 88. Trying to stay with him there. He's driving like he's got 4 tires because he's trying to stay in the line that the car in front of him is. That was a good 1 and 2 for Jade Burr. Keith Ayers clears the lap traffic as well. Remember, he's the 1 and 3rd in the red and white number 16 Ford Mustang. It's 2 Fords chasing a Camaro. Around now, 14 laps to go at Iowa Speedway. Info looking good. The number 88 Chevy Camaro leads the way, looking for win number 3 this season. But I'll tell you, Jade Burr is not giving up. The 28 machine still right there despite having only the 2 tires. Driving it like he stole it. Driving it like he took 4. Now the 00 is in between Keith Ayers and Jade Burr. He is 1 lap down. I believe he's the first car 1 lap down. Info coming up to put a lap on, I believe that was Sean Lucas. I haven't spoken very much about Sean Lucas all race long. He's kept his car very clean, actually. Not much damage, actually, at all on that race car. And he was inside the top 10 up until... And he might even still be in the top 10. Jade Burr has lost the second position to Keith Ayres. There's Keith in the 16. Now in the runner-up spot. Question is, does he have enough time to run down your race leader? He's got a 1.4 second to chop away at, and he's only got 7.5 laps to do it. When they hit the stripe this time around, it'll be 7 laps to go. Keep trying to use the draft with the lap machine of Sean Lucas, and he did just that. They've also walked away from Jade Burr. Remember, Jade took the 2 tires only, so he has faded a little bit. Watching Keith Ayres try to run down your leader. It's now down to 1.3. Picked up 2/10 there in 1 lap, and he's got to do that every lap and from now until the finish to be at his back bumper. 6 laps to go. He's hitting the corners perfectly, but the problem is Info is as well. In the 88 machine, he leads the way. Looking for career win number 3 here in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, and it would be a great way for him to kick off Motormaster Monday. Remember the main event of the evening, Watkins Glen International, coming up after the Falcon 200. 4 laps to go, and now Info has actually put a bit of distance in between himself and Keith Ayres using the draft with a couple of these cars that are going 1 lap down. It's now up to 1.8 seconds, and life is good for Info in the number 88 Chevy Camaro. He's going to wheel it around turn 2. He's got a lap car in front of him. Patrick Hazlitt in the 20. Something had to have happened to Patrick Hazlitt. Either that or this is just simply the blistering pace that the leaders have been putting on. So it's Info, Keith Ayres, Jade Burr, Dustin Franklin, Joshua Colin-Diaz, the top 5. 2 laps to go. Coming into turn 3 and 4, and when he exits 4, he will see the white flag. It's exactly what he wants to see as well. A long, hard-fought race. He won the pole. He lost stage 1 to Nick Donfrancesco, and he battled back in stage 2. Led the most laps. He rounds 3 and 4. And Info is a 3-time race winner in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Excellent job by Info. He had to rebound from getting loose in stage 1, getting involved in a couple of incidents shortly after because he got mired in traffic, but he surged back to the front and never looked back. 3rd win this season and 3rd career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win for Info. A well-deserved win. Definitely going to get a post-race interview with your top 3 finishers. get you all set for the main event at Watkins Glen International. Motormaster Monday, folks. Fastest lap of the race goes to Keith Ayers in the 16. There we go. Everybody, we've made it down to Victory Lane, and we've found info. It wasn't hard to find him. He's celebrating with his team here at Victory Lane, winning the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway. Congratulations, first of all. Second of all, you had a couple of slip-ups in Stage 1. Seemed like your car was too loose or something like that. Were you adjusting throughout the race, and did you help your car throughout the race to get this one?
Stage one, I kept on hitting, I guess it's the seam. Like, it had a seam in turn one, turn two, all the turns basically. They were in different spots. But eventually, I got the hang of it to where I don't have to run that spot where it's going to spin me out like it did with everybody else. I think everybody else was having that problem. But, I'm pretty sure if they didn't have that same problem like I did at stage one, then, it would be a really good race.
I was going to say you might have already just answered this question, but yeah, we noticed a lot of the drivers that seem to be about as fast as you, perhaps better. We'll never know some of them because they seem to get caught up in a couple of incidents and they seem to have handling issues the longer the run went. How did you avoid all of that?
Um, Stage one, stage two, I didn't really avoid all of it. I was mostly in it because I was pushing my car way harder than I should because I've noticed that there were some cars, that were faster than me. But eventually, at the end of the last stage, I decided to finally fix up my car. And well, at the last run, I made sure I saved tires and made sure I played it safe. Around 10 laps to go, I pushed my car as hard as I could. So, I guess, it was fun.
When you saw Jay Burr in front of you after the cycle of pit stops, did you think, oh, he got us, or were you still confident that you could catch him?
I was confident because, me and Ayers Keith had fresher tires. So I knew that we would gain up on them just like I did at New Hampshire because tire wears are a really big thing, especially for the races. And so what I did was is I just saved tires behind Jay Burr while he was dealing with lap down cars. Once he wrecked a lap down car, I was able to pass him, and then I just started cruising after that.
Info, congratulations. That's your third career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win. Go enjoy it with your team.
Thanks.
That was Info, driver of the number 88 Chevy Camaro, picking up another valuable win and another valuable three playoff points. 3 playoff points going to the race winner. Second and third place finishers receive 1 playoff point each. We're going to speak to the driver who finished in second, and that is Keith Ayers in the number 16 Ford Mustang. Another solid, consistent run. Mr. Consistency. There's a reason why he's in second in the point standings. Joining us now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, driver who finished in the second position What the? Sorry, hold on 1 second, Keith. Just want to see something again here. Oh, okay, I understand now. It's a new pop-up for PlayStation 4. Joining me now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, driver the number 16 Ford Mustang, runner-up finish here at Iowa Speedway in the Falcon 200. It was looking good for you for a while. A couple of cars got caught up in a few issues. What happened in, I believe it was stage 2? You did a heck of a job. Your car was on rails out there. There was a few others that seemed to be just as quick as you. Did you have any strategy going through your mind throughout the race on how you were going to counter that and beat them, or were you just going with the flow? Ah, shoot. Apparently the viewers on YouTube can't hear you. They can't hear you, Keith. Are you all ready? Oh, did you change it though? You're good? You just gotta go to your chat and go to the party that we're in right now. Go to party settings. Go down to where it says allow your voice to be shared and go to always allow. Okay. Joining me now in the NASCAR commentary booth, runner-up finisher here in the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway, Keith Ayers in the 16 car. I asked you a moment ago about what happened to you in stage 2, and you were telling me that you got caught up in an incident there. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, as I was saying before, what appeared to happen was the 98 car, I believe it was of Napa, touched the apron in 3 and 4, got loose, caused a chain reaction. I hit whoever was in front of me, put me up into the wall. I fell back to 12th, rallied back in that stage, came back for 8th, and then I was just able to rally my way back up forward, and then just came up and got second right at the end.
You definitely had a good car. There was a few cars that seemed to be the class of the field, and it's been that way all season long. And tell us what you do to prepare for these races, to try to separate yourself from the rest of the field.
Just as much practice as I can get in during the days before races, and I just try to mentally prepare for it, and I try to do the best that I can. One thing I do want to say though, going for a pass on Jade Byrne, the 28 for second place, he was on the outside. Dina was in the middle, and I was on the inside. My car got a little tight. It pushed up into Nub, which put Jade in the wall. I just want to apologize to the 28 team for that. I did not mean to do that whatsoever. That was just a racing incident on my part, and there was no intent behind that. And I apologize to the 00 as well.
We all know you're one heck of a road racer, and that's where we're going for the main event here on Motormaster Monday. What do you think of your chances coming into the event?
I think I have a darn good shot at possibly walking away with as much stage points as I can and playoff points, and if everything goes right, I think I may be walking out of my home track with a trophy.
Ah, home track. Forgot about that. Well, we wish you the best of luck and good job on a second place finish here at Iowa.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ty. I look forward to talking to you later on tonight from Watkins Glen.
Excellent. That was Keith Ayers, driver of the number 16 Ford Mustang. Going to get an interview here with Jade Burr, driver of the number 28 Ford Mustang, your points leader. There we go. Joining me now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, third place finisher in the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway, driver of the number 28 Ford Mustang, Jade Burr. Thanks for joining us.
Always, thank you.
Well, you came in as the points leader, and you're going to leave the points leader as well. And I know it's not quite where you wanted to finish, but we saw you pulling out all the stops. You had the big strategy there with the pit stop in the final stage. Was that something you planned on doing the entire event, or was that some spontaneous plan?
That was spontaneous. I wasn't planning on doing that at all. These last few races, I'm more worried about just finishing them. I'm not worried about stage points. I'm not worried about playoff points. I'm worried about just finishing them in the front, grabbing those points at the end, just like tonight. We ran around the back half of the field, the first stage. Second stage, we finished top 5. We finished third in the race, the overall race.
That was the other thing I was going to ask you. We didn't talk about you much in stage 1, but you started slowly but surely working your way towards the front. Were you adjusting on the handling of the car, or were you maybe experimenting with different lines in the corners?
I was experimenting a lot. I definitely paid attention the first time we were here, and I knew that the outside could work, and I was using it there for a minute, or around Pickle, but then he scared me a little bit. I got up into the wall out of 2, then out of 4, I just bounced off the wall, and I got into him. That was not intentional at all, and I apologize to that team. That's it was not intentional. And then the 88 got around me. Then I was slowly catching up to him, and then the incident with Keith and the 00 happened, and we just finished where we did.
The playoffs are fast approaching. You're picking up playoff points, at least one it seems, in almost every race. How confident are you heading into the playoffs about where you're seated in the point standings?
I'm pretty confident because we've been up front. We've been on top of the points all season long. Ever since Daytona, we've been up top. We've been on top all season long. We've been just being consistent. That's what my plan was going into the season. I wasn't really worried about wins. I was worried about just finishing up front, and we'll deal with whatever happens afterwards.
Well, it's a great way to. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I was just going to say, well, that's a great way to go about it. Let the wins come whenever they do. Concentrate on the consistency. Congratulations on a third-place finish here at Iowa, and good luck to you in the main event at Watkins Glen.
Thank you, sir.
That was Jade Burr, driver of the 28 Ford Mustang, picking up a third-place finish here in the Falcon 200, and we'll see who's busy, who's not. See if we can get Dustin Franklin in here for a quick interview.
Going on?
Joining me now in the NASCAR commentary booth, fourth place finisher in the Falcon 200, driver of the number 01 Chevy Camaro. That is Dustin Franklin. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting this at all.
You ran a good race. It was very consistent and clean for the most part, and then towards the end you started working your way towards the front. Describe the competition out there, and how was the car feeling?
Oh, well, see, I was, even dating back to NASCAR Heat 2, I was like in one of my favorite tracks on any kind of racing thing at all. I just love the way it drives. I love the way I can be loose and it actually be fine at the same time. But I don't know. I had some guys around me making some boneheaded moves, like run them down from 3 seconds. You pass them, and then they want to dive bomb you to get back past you, try to put you in the wall. But I mean, I guess that's racing on a video game at least, I guess. But I thought I messed myself up a little bit on that last pit stop because I repaired some damage and it took like 2 seconds and I lost like 3 positions, but I ended up gaining them all back and ended up battling back to fourth and had a decent finish, best career finish in the Motormaster Series.
What are your goals heading into tonight's main event race, Motormaster Monday at Watkins Glen?
Oh, to stay out of trouble and not get run over, pretty much. That's all you can do. It's a track like Watkins Glen and something like this is just. I'm gonna join the qualifying session and just run some calm laps around the track and hopefully start in the back so I don't get run over going into turn one on the initial start and see where it goes from there.
Well, we wish you the best of luck and good job on a top 5 finish here in the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That was Dustin Franklin, driver of the 01 Chevy Camaro, picking up a 4th place finish here at Iowa Speedway. Great run for him. We're going to wrap it up with one more interview. Joshua Colm Diaz in the number 90 Chevy Camaro, picking up a top 5. We'll get one with him. Joining us now in the NASCAR commentary booth, 5th place finisher in the Falcon 200 at Iowa Speedway, and that is Joshua Colm Diaz, driver of the number 90 Chevy Camaro. Thanks for joining us. You ran consistently in the top 5 for Stage 1. You ran consistently in the top 10 because you were mired in traffic for Stage 2. And in the final stage, you had to overcome some obstacles, but you pulled off a top 5. Describe your race for us. Tell us about your day. What are your goals for the rest of the season? Actually, better question for you. You're inside the playoff bubble right now. You're in 16th in the point standings, and of course 16 drivers make the playoffs, and you got a much better cushion, a points cushion now than you did before the start of the night. How confident are you that you're going to make the playoffs, and what are your plans and goals for the playoffs? Not a bad goal. You're getting closer and closer to that win column. You keep nicking off top 5s here and there. You're getting closer and closer to the front. Tell us about the competition out there. Oh no, we can't hear you. Go to the chat that we're in. Party settings. And allow your voice to be shared. Always allow. Sorry, we'll just have to quickly redo it. Joining us now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, 5th place finisher Joshua Colm Diaz, driver of the number 90 Chevy Camaro. 2nd top 5 of the season. You're getting closer and closer to victory lane. Tell us about your race. you've had a good season. You're inside the playoff bubble right now. You're in 16th in the standings, and of course 16 drivers make the NASCAR Motormaster Series playoffs. How confident are you that you're going to make the playoffs, and what are your plans and goals for the playoffs once they begin? Hey, shooting high, I like that. Final question, what is your goals heading into tonight's main event at Watkins Glen? Yeah, no doubt, huh? Be careful for turn one. Thank you for. Oh, we still can't hear you, dude. Are you doing the right thing? Go to the chat that we're in. This chat. And then go to party settings. And then go down to where it says allow your voice to be shared. Now it's always allow. That's what you want. Okay. Joshua Colm Diaz picking up a 5th place finish in the number 90 Chevy Camaro here at Iowa Speedway. Tell us about your race.
Very good race. Great race. At the beginning we struggled, but I just kept adjusting it and it just got better as the race went on.
You're consistently running closer to the front at every race as it progresses through the season here. And you're inside the top 16 in the point standings, which means that you're in a playoff spot as of right now with a very good points cushion with only a few races left. What are your goals and plans for the playoffs?
Try to be the underdog, maybe. Try and get my first win, and maybe just make the Final Four.
And how about your goals for tonight's main event at Watkins Glen?
Survive the wrecks.
Just survive turn one on the restarts and you'll be alright. Thanks for joining us, and good job on your 5th place finish.
Thank you.
That was Joshua Colm Diaz, the number 90 machine. Qualifying for Watkins Glen begins at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You heard right, that's literally less than 8 minutes from now. Live coverage of the event will begin at about 9:40. Yeah, I'd say 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to cut this live coverage for now. Race 1 is done. Info wins the Falcon 200. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you very shortly for the main event, Motormaster Monday.